Happy birthday, Kev.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. I don't get to...
You're how old now?
52.
52.
Never asked a lady her age. It's
You
so
don't
rude.
look a day over 52.
I know.
I swear.
They overthink that.
You look great,
you look
man.
great. You look great, my
I
friend.
appreciate that. What's been on your mind, man? I don't get enough time with you, or you, but either one of you.
Which is weird because you follow me around like a motherfucker.
I watch you perform, but I don't get.
Well, we talk a lot, but it's always like, kind of.
I mean, I could start like hooking the mic up on the stage, so in between your songs,
I swear we need to
I
have
could
the
just
question
incorporate.
time.
Yeah,
You should do that. I
Like
that.
people put questions in a hat, and then I've got to come up with some interesting answer for it.
yeah. Do you want the stand? I can give you the stand now if you want,
Or you can
Oh.
sit right there. if
or
you
sit
want.
right here.
This is a better angle. People can see me.
People can see you better. There you go.
Yeah, it's more important that they see her than
Oh,
any
yeah.
of
I'm not
us.
going to say anything that's valuable. So as long as you can see my face, maybe that'll make up for it.
Actually, let's mute it, but zoom in on her face.
For sure.
But yeah, I was just bitching about something, so I feel like I might as well just continue.
Continue.
But this is one of the things that drives me insane. So I was talking to a particular venue, and they were like, "We'll give you this much money for a 4-piece band," or I hate when people are like, "Oh, we'll give you this much for a duo."
I mean, that wasn't. There's not a text on my phone that kind of substantiates that your conversation, is it?
I don't think
Is this the conversation you and I had?
that's very. I don't know, but she and I had a conversation.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, but like venues that are like, or venues that are like, oh, if it's a 3-piece, we give them $300, we give them $100 a man, or if it's a 4-piece, you get, it's $400. But I'm like, Stevie Ray Vaughan played in a 3-piece, so it's like, does your shit wedding band from fucking, that has 6 people in it, do y'all get double the money because you have more people than Stevie Ray Vaughan had in his band?
Right.
It's like, why would you not pay or rate the
Just
band?
about the quality, not about the amount
Right.
of people.
Why would you not base it on the talent and the quality of the show?
No, that's a fair.
Who in the and also like how many, like there are so many duos that will get $100. I mean, luckily I feel like I don't have to worry about that now. I've played enough, but like starting out, there'd be duos that would get double the money of me because the chick couldn't play guitar.
Right.
I'm like, he's playing, she's singing. I'm doing both those things. Why do they get more money?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry that she didn't want to learn to play the guitar, but I did. Like, give me the same money. That's so dumb.
Yeah. What's the answer to that?
Venues just being intelligent about it. It's like if anyone.
How about listening to the quality of music and not just the amount of people?
It's like, if you look at it like an accountant, like you look in the books, you're like, oh, this band only has 3 people and we gave them $700. Well, that band might be the best trio in the around here, and the 4-piece you're paying, whatever, a little more might be dog shit.
Right.
So it's like just base it on quality. I don't know why anything else would matter.
Or it could be a combination too of a venue's budget is what it is, and they're not being realistic with.
Why? Yeah, sometimes they're just bullshitting you, but a lot of it really is like this habitual kind of, where it's like I'll have someone reach out to me and be like, I specifically need a duo for this date. And I'm like, well, and I remember I turned it down because of money, and then they hire a duo that has a dude that plays guitar and a chick that sings. So it's literally doing what I do.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
That's
y'all,
true.
you just got another person on stage. Like, congrats, man. Like, I just don't understand why that matters.
And probably it's not as entertaining either too.
Well, I mean,
They don't realize that's part of the package. I say that as a fan. I fucking laugh my ass off at your shows.
I'm glad that you laugh. A lot of people do. Some people hate it a whole lot.
And
a lot of people
I laugh at the people who get offended and
Yeah,
walk
me
out of the venue
too. They are extra entertainment for me, so I need those people to stick around so I can laugh at them.
We single
Hating
out
their lives.
who's going to be the one that's going to walk out first.
Look how unhappy this person is.
Always count on that. What has been going on? Another bombing. I hate it's like a party pooper thing.
Yeah, we were literally just talking about birthday stuff, and then you.
Well, you got to talk about some shit.
You got a birth, and now you got to go from one extreme to the other.
like
Exactly.
I feel like people have enough bombing talk in their day. We could skip over that.
All right.
What about you, Lauren? You got something on your mind over there?
Yeah.
Little pretty birthday lady.
I really was curious about which one it was, though.
I literally just want to move right back. That's the way I feel.
Okay.
But go ahead if you're really curious.
No, you talk about what's on your mind, then.
Well, what about? I tell you, I'm gonna skip right to politics. It ain't gonna be. This is not Trump. The DNC, the Democratic side, has to come up with someone who can counter him in 2020. What's your take on Mayor Pete? Could they? Could
he doesn't
a
have-
openly gay man even have?
Not
to?
yet.
Okay.
I don't think.
And he's
so.
only 37. I think he'd be a great VP. Right?
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't
You
think
don't
even.
think
I mean, I'm not. I don't have. I'm not saying. I don't know enough about his politics to say anything good or bad about him. But I'll just assume that. First of all, I'll assume that he's a bad person because he's a politician. But I'll assume that he's better than most because it seems at least he's at least a little open-minded and whatever.
Yeah.
So, but no, it doesn't that I have a problem with obviously with that, and that would be a good step in the right direction. I mean, obviously, I don't want people to vote for him because he's gay. Like, you're not a better president because you are.
No.
But it shouldn't be an issue either way.
He's pretty damn smart.
There's a lot of people though that
I've watched his interviews. He's a Harvard grad. He done time in Afghanistan. Very intelligent, and he's doing. He's mayor of South Bend, and it's a very diverse town, and I like him, but I do think he's just a little too it.
yeah,
The world's not ready
not
for
for
it.
him. Not yet.
Sadly.
Sadly, indeed.
Who else out there? Biden. Supposedly Biden's going to make his announcement Thursday, 2 days from now.
He's just such a non-exciting candidate too.
That's what I'm looking for.
It's like who is like moved to tears and inspired by the idea of Biden becoming president?
Yeah.
It's like that's like when someone gets you stoked for your birthday and then you're like, okay, we're going, and then they're like, we're at O'Charlie's, and you're like, fuck, man, like, come on, like it's not bad, but it's
They
not
have
that
great
great.
roles.
But they have
though.
great roles.
Yeah, they're so good.
Biden's probably got some roles too.
He does.
No, Trump got more roles.
Good God. What's did you hear the Attorney General is warning people here in Kentucky prior to the Derby about sex trafficking?
I love that you giggled at that.
Well, I giggle because I'm just I'm trying to stay in the birthday festive spirit.
No, it's your podcast, man. You talk about whatever the hell you want.
It's like so.
because I know I'd get a response.
What? No, so exactly explain this.
The Attorney General here is warning of sex trafficking ahead of Kentucky Derby. That will
enhance it because the amount of people. Yeah, that's
any
probably
large
true.
event. Yeah, any large event. Period. Super Bowl's one of the largest from the year.
So I guess they're just
Or-
trying to say keep an eye out for some kids who look like they're really, distraught and
there is the
that's serious.
in the
If something feels wrong, it probably is. Like go ask that kid how they're doing.
in the post it gives warning signs if you see a child or a young female or whatever with certain looks or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Like what's it gonna hurt? Some kid might think you're weird if they're okay, but it's like maybe help save somebody.
Yeah.
Kids are assholes though. I am scared to approach them. Like they tell the
I can
truth.
officially announce. I got to do this real quick. My next roast, the next shooting from the Lip Roast, is going to take place July 28th. It's a Sunday night at the Levee. Antonio Pantoja is the roastee.
It's exciting.
It's going to be pretty badass event.
And
You know where it's
is
gonna be?
Amari for sure doing it?
He's planning on getting him involved. I know Dusty Lee is going to be one of the roasters.
Dusty will be great.
Yeah,
Dusty's already thrown his hat or name in the hat. He wants to be the roast after
Nice.
Antonio.
Nice.
Dude,
That's a great-
I would love happily roast Dusty over it. Like that's like he's like the person I
think-
would want to
yeah.
roast out of love more. Like some people I want to roast because I'm like I don't like that motherfucker. And
Yeah.
but like him I love him. But there's so many fun things to talk about because he's such a
Well, because he says everything out in the
Crazy
open,
ass.
which is why he wants to get roasted. He's like, ain't nothing I ain't said.
Yeah.
Like,
And speaking of roasts, our guy Chase Skinner, who was part of the initial roast, has thrown his name in the hat to be part of roast. Chase Skinner 2.0 roast. He really has. Like, really? You didn't get enough? He's like,
no, I don't remember the first
he
one.
don't remember. And he's like, I'm sure shit happened since. So, what was y'all's take, or did you even get a chance to digest the Mueller report?
No.
Yeah, same. But if according to Trump, he's free and clear. But according to Democrats, that's not the case. The wording is basically leaving it up to Congress to do their thing.
I just feel like it's exactly like if someone would have. It's one of those things where I wish you could bet on. I guess you can, but I wish you could bet on like politics with Vegas odds, like the way you do with sports. Because I'm like, one of those things like when they started this report. So if someone said, "Do you think he's guilty?" I'm like, "Yeah, probably." But I'm like, "Do you think you're going to find anything?" No, they're not going to. Like, they're not going to say anything. He's not going to actually be impeached. He's not going to. The whole thing is just going to be like this. Almost every single day since he's been president, someone said like, "Oh, this is the thing
Right.
that's going to take him down." Everyone has this doomsday mentality every single day. There's been 1,000 times, and he's still the exact same place he was.
What if it turns out that he's the one that's right and everyone else is, that it has been a witch hunt? And then you got Kellyanne Conway's husband. That's a weird setup.
I mean,
too.
obviously,
he
I
goes
would
on
still
record
love
about
him if that was the case,
Yeah.
but that wouldn't even surprise me because I literally I have more of the satirical, I think both sides are terrible view than a lot, which doesn't mean that I don't want to talk about politics at all, but my idea is that, I mean, like, would the Democrats stoop low enough to do that? Like, yeah, for sure. Just like he would be shitty enough to rig it, they would be shitty enough to lie about him rigging it. I don't know.
Can I say my weird comedic millennial comment about
Yeah,
this? I feel like millennials are going to shorten the word impeached to just peached, and then they're going to just use the peach emoji. Like, oh my God, hashtag
You
just
know they
peach.
will.
So it's like, does
Let's
that president
peach
have a
Trump.
great ass, or is he getting impeached?
Exactly.
Or both.
So use that, millennials, if you want hashtag peach, if you want Trump impeached, okay?
What's been on your mind, Kevin? I know you got shit running through your head all the time.
We were talking about,
Like, what's pillow talk when y'all laying in bed?
Pillow
Give us,
talk.
give us something. Talk out loud.
we're usually just laughing at what
Like my
dumb
dick,
people
Rich.
post on
Make me a
Facebook.
sandwich.
And when you come back, bring me a glass of water. Yeah,
And we're usually like, oh my God, look what this person posted on Facebook.
Yeah, that's
that too.
Like, why? But what we were talking about the other day, I listened to this podcast. It's called Guys We Fucked. I don't know if you've heard of it. No. Yeah, the name is like, what? It's kind of clickbaity,
great
It
podcast.
makes you want to listen to it, but it's basically about normalizing just talking about every single variation of sex.
Anti-slut shaming podcast.
Anti-slut shaming podcast, yes. So
There's two comedians from New York, two chicks. That,
yeah,
she's met them both, and we've.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually got to say a question on stage to them, and I fangirled the fuck out.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
What was the question then? Give me
Nope.
No, it is a sex podcast, and that is censored. But
You
I
can
said it in
speak
front
freely
of
here.
1,000 people, so I don't know. I had too many
listen.
martinis.
There's probably a video of it somewhere, right?
Probably.
Okay.
No, you're not allowed to take videos at comedy shows. Like, if you
Well,
love
that's true.
comedy, you got to
That's
respect
true.
that.
You gotta respect-
So that's why I
that's
felt
the
like
etiquette.
I was in the presence of some good,
So
good
what was-
people. But yeah, they had a guest on the podcast, and I've loved every guest. There's been a couple assholes on there, but they had I believe he's an
And I guarantee it's a
11-year-old
video
boy.
that he's seen, too.
Yeah, they had an 11-year-old boy on the podcast, and remember, it's called Guys We Fuck. So already I'm kind of like, no.
It's a little extreme for a little.
Exactly. It's a sexual podcast.
Right,
So
right.
already I'm like, I'm disagreeing with you ladies. I love you, but what are you doing? He is an 11-year-old drag queen.
Have you seen the videos and stuff? I feel like it was all over the internet for like a minute.
Of
like, the question
I think
of whether
now you say
it's-
that I've heard of it. I don't know
Yeah,
if I've seen it. So truly, 11-year-old drag.
And his, man, I knew his name and it just like
so this
went out of my head.
is
But
11-year-old doing the drag queen thing. Does he feel like this 11-year-old boy?
yeah, 11-year-old boy.
Does
Yes.
he think he's a female?
No, he just identifies as a gay,
I'm going
a gay
with you know
person.
that video I sent you of with Rogan and the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what they were talking about.
Yeah,
about
he just
trans.
enjoys the whole fashion, which is fine.
Okay.
Like,
So
the whole fashion aspect is great. Like, and if he wants to do that at home, but what is happening is he's doing this in clubs where obviously I believe drag shows are sexualized. Very, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, and they're like, there's a picture of where you see him, and in the same room, there's like a naked man because like he's back there changing and stuff. And I'm like,
That he's not related
it's not
to.
the issue
It's-
of whether he's dressing up like a girl or not. The issue is why
How
would
is
you
that
want your
even
child
legal?
sexualized?
I know. That's what
Exactly.
I feel. I mean,
I mean,
it's not.
Should the police or
For him to
whatever
be in a
wouldn't
bar,
be
but-
raiding this venue because you have a child by law. Isn't
I think
that
some of them
child
are
under-
qualified as theaters, so I think he's allowed it.
I mean, I don't know how they get away with it, but
Yeah.
but
Is that kind of like shit that happens in church? That
Yeah. But the point to me is it was like kind of like the same thing we were talking about with that Adam I can't remember his last name. Adam Ruins Everything, the guy that was on Rogan.
Right, yeah.
And how I said he was he drank the leftist Kool-Aid
He
too
did,
much.
very much.
But it's like the same thing. It's like wanting to say everything's okay. It's like, I want to say almost everything's okay, because personally, I don't care what you do, and you don't really care what people do. But it's like, there's a point to where someone should be like, oh, let's just use our reason. And it's like 11-year-olds should
Logic.
have nothing sexual. They should not be sexualized.
Well, scientifically,
it's
but
kind of sick. I mean, really, it's
I know.
very
No,
distasteful.
it's like, why would you not just let him like play at home and dress up whatever he wants, and then
Yeah.
when he gets older, if he wants to perform in a sexual way,
Yeah.
he can
because
choose that.
oh my
as an
god, I
adult.
love drag shows. They're like my favorite thing to do ever. But adults,
Yeah, like we love a good drag.
Exactly.
I think they're amazing.
I know,
And
they're so much
what's
fun.
fucking scary is the the people that are up there in drag look.
I know. I'm
fucking
like,
stunning.
I feel like shit when I
Yes,
go there. I'm like,
exactly.
what are you doing? You look amazing.
Would it be great to get some like redneck guy and tell him you're going to take him to drag? And he thinks he's going to like go to a drag race.
Yes.
And then he's like,
RuPaul's Drag
he's
Race.
like, I don't even see any fucking cars, man.
Yeah.
These gay guys going to drive later?
Smell fuel in this place.
Are these big women going to drive later or what?
Where's the smell of
They're
burnt
beautiful.
rubber? Burnt rubber here.
Oh man.
What else, Kevin? Come on. I'm like, there's got to be stuff. I didn't want to feel like I'm in interview mode, or I didn't
You
want to.
said you had a question or something.
Well, I do
Yeah.
have. I have.
Well, ask
this is
one or
all right.
two.
All right. These
Won't
are my bucket. I've got bucket list questions that I want answered before I die, and these three are probably the most popular three out there.
Well, shoot.
Is there a God? I want the answer.
Which
I
you
mean-
won't get, obviously.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
hoping
know.
one way or the other. I mean, I would love
Oh.
that answer before I die.
Oh,
But I think epistemologically, you can't even say that you could never get it answered. Like, so say that they're really just like this is one of the people just don't think deep enough.
all right, I asked that question out loud. So your response would be what?
That there's no way to know.
Okay.
Because even if someone people were like, well, what if God just spoke down from the heavens?
Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
What if that happened though? That still doesn't that doesn't change the fact that there are a lot of people smarter than all of us combined right now that think we're in a computer simulation. I'm not saying that we are, but that simulation could easily have a God character in it. All I'm saying is that
that's some great Wi-Fi. Like, we really don't glitch that much, is the main thing.
Well, Russ, our buddy Russ, brought up a good point. We were talking something along those lines, and he said this is why we were all at Diamond Saturday night, having a fucking good time. We're drinking, just everything's going good that we call good. He's like, what if this is hell? What if this is hell? I mean, is that?
Well, I mean,
You're like,
that's,
bro, I'm trying to party here.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Though.
But to me, the notion of hell is kind of, it's a really random, made up thing. So it's like,
Exactly.
if there was a hell, it would be, to me, that would be like this astronomical odds that one of us monkeys on the earth guessed that right. It's
Is
like,
it, to a degree,
you know what I
hell is the ultimate con that religion uses to keep.
and heaven
Fear.
both. I mean,
Yeah,
God,
both.
heaven,
Yeah.
yeah.
because I think heaven's a way bigger con than hell because way more people behave in such a way because they think they're going to
How come
live
we can
forever.
all think of what hell is more than what we can think of what heaven is? In our, I feel like
Yeah.
there's an easier drawing of what I feel like Hades is.
And
in
one of
my
my
head.
speaking of heaven, this is not part of the question, but one of my favorite things on Facebook, social media, is somehow on Facebook, Facebook is a pipeline to heaven. When I see all these people, Dad would be 100 years old. Dad, he starts going off talking to Dad
wow. You're talking
on
about
Facebook.
Well-
what would your relatives say to you on Facebook? That shit, that's what you're talking about? Yeah, I saw that. And then you click on it, then it steals all your information, sells it
What?
to advertisers. And then it says your uncle
That is
says
the most
this.
terrible. Well, I guess that's kind of like psychics. You go
Well,
there
that-
and someone's like, "Oh, can I talk to my
that
dead
too.
grandmother?"
Or like
And then-
priests and preachers
Yeah, but just Dad would be.
that tell you for sure, you're going to see
but
your
you're
mother
talking
when you
ab-
die.
Yeah, in this case, I'm talking. Where the dad or grandpa, whatever, is in heaven. It's their birthday, so they use the way they're on Facebook is if it's a pipeline straight to.
Yeah.
Well, I get that. it's. When you're angry, if you type out an email,
know,
that's
but-
terrible, and then you delete it, you feel amazing. So basically, you're
That's
venting.
not the
but
same at
I mean,
all
yeah,
because there's a belief system attached to one. One is a sense of cathartic behavior.
yeah.
And, just like if you go to a grave, you could be an atheist and go to someone's grave. As
Yeah,
a,
and you feel better.
A cathartic act. But
Right.
that's
Yeah.
not the same as what he's talking about, which is literally thinking that in some way you're being watched over by your
Oh,
relatives.
yeah, okay.
And or that you're
But
going to see
at
them
the
again,
same
which
time-
everyone promises with
in
religion.
stealing Anthony Jeselnik's thoughts and prayers kind of idea, people who put that shit out there that what they're really wanting is people to respond. Oh, that's
well,
so
yeah.
sweet.
Well, yeah,
They want
but I
their
mean,
attention for themselves.
We
Yeah.
get less touching and less physical affection than people did back in the day. So this is just our way of
Wouldn't it be
getting.
cool though if someone
sympathy.
on Facebook decided, let's just from this point on, you are the designated heaven spokesman. So anybody that types up, "Mom,
Like
I
Bruce
miss you,"
Almighty.
yeah, and then all of a sudden this message appears back on their comment.
Oh my gosh. I feel like that.
Just
That's
as
kind
realistic.
of. There's an app like that, the therapist app. You know, when you can just type whatever you want, and then you literally have somebody who talks to you about it, which is a great app. It's called Talkspace. You know, if you want someone to
that's real
talk
people,
to.
though.
Yeah, I
That
know,
is
but
real-
that's
that's a
true.
good
Well,
point.
he was saying if there's somebody on the other end
Yeah,
that was
That
replying, if
literally-
that was like a service.
Yeah. That would probably be mean. I guess.
Mean?
Would it be mean?
Well, I mean, if somebody was
MEAN.
hired to be nice about it, probably help people. Maybe, I don't know, give them false hope.
It's all the false stuff just doesn't have. Like I feel
Well,
like
that's the thing. You just be honest. Be like, yeah, I'm just hired. Like, make you feel better. But
What about? I think I've brought this up in the past, but this is part of the questions I want answered. Are we alone? I want to know that answer.
I think that one is. There's no way that we're alone.
no, I mean, the universe is infinite. So
All right, saying that, if we're not alone and that there is life outside, is the God that most of these people believe in their God as well? Is there still that one God?
Well, obviously,
I don't know.
you
You have to
answer
ask
that.
somebody who believes that.
Well, I know, but you give me what would your answer? You think?
I
the
think
answer-
No.
I think from a biblical perspective,
yeah.
if you
Yeah.
try to be a biblicist, like if you really believe, then I think there is no other people. We're the only people,
Right. And
because
that-
we are the center of the universe in a sense,
Right.
because we're the most precious thing, we're the most precious part of God's creation, and all of the heavens and the earth are here ultimately for one reason, which is to praise God, to show how great He is, and for us to see how God is great. So
I like
I mean,
your
there is
preacher
no
hands.
more arrogant perspective of humanity than a religious one, because I mean, my view, we're not that great. I mean, we are what we are. We're just things moving around. We should all be good to each other, because why not? Because it sucks when you're not. But in their view, it's like we are the center of the universe, and God, every day when they wake up, God is literally listening to every word they say. Everything they do and say is infinitely valuable, and it is infinitely valuable, or it's infinitely terrible. Every moment, though, is built in with this immense pressure of the God of the universe is watching and caring about every moment, which believing that is a powerful thing. But I would say is an unbelievably ignorant and arrogant thing to imagine that we're the center of everything. And that,
I want that answer. And my last one of the three is really what happens when we die. What happens?
do you have a...
I guess you'll find out, right?
You're closer than us based on your birthday today.
Happy birthday!
Speaking of, happy birthday.
Closer. That's a pretty damn good point. No,
But I think the answer to all three of your questions is very much has been and will be for maybe forever, but I don't know. I mean, and I think that's
Smoke some DMT.
the biggest
well,
thing that
you know
I
what?
have.
I'm glad you brought that. That's another one. I'm gonna just throw it out here because I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. It's the podcast. Have you all tried DMT?
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I haven't. And I've heard, I've watched Joe Rogan. He's had people on the whole hallucinogenic process that it's that triggers parts of your brain that takes you into a certain dimension.
Yeah, we didn't go
Yeah,
there.
no.
You did.
Because there's different. I mean, like we didn't go as hard as he went.
Yeah.
Like he dove in the
Very
deep end.
chill.
Yeah.
We put our feet in the water.
Well, I would love to, in a very controlled environment,
too.
try to do that.
Yeah. They have people that are
Even
hired.
in Kentucky now that do
Trip sitters.
ayahuasca
yeah.
in Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting.
But I mean, ayahuasca is South America, two different plants that are put together to ultimately get DMT. So it's a less clinical way of doing it, and it's like a much more spiritual kind of
Is it easily accessible?
DMT.
Yeah.
I mean,
As easy as marijuana?
no, obviously
Yeah.
no.
No,
I mean,
definitely not.
Okay.
it's like finding good cocaine. Just kidding, guys. Take a joke, everybody. It's like the good heroin. You never get the good heroin, you know? You know how I'm talking about? I'm trying to talk about relatable stuff. You know when you get the bad heroin,
super
everybody?
relatable. Yeah.
Ah, it's terrible.
Those bars we go to, it's those people at the bar.
And
What else, man?
You already went through your bucket list. Like,
What's
your
my
podcast
three?
is over forever. Your
Well,
bucket list
I would
over.
have said that people,
I want to get the answers. Once I get those answers,
Oh,
then
yeah, we answer them. It's fine.
I really just deeply believe that anytime someone says that they know the answer about something, they're just probably already wrong. It's a really,
Yeah.
it's an odd, bold thing for me to people like that kind of to say that I know for sure about anything. Like the idea of faith obviously separates everything
That's
because it's
hilarious.
no longer are you talking about. We're not talking about the same thing. When I say, I believe because of faith. I mean, that literally, I could just as easily say, I believe because, I like black jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just saying words. It doesn't.
That's
But you
good
don't
point.
believe because of an overwhelming amount of evidence that's convinced you of something.
Mm-hmm. I've heard Ricky Gervais said something very cool recently on one of these YouTube interviews where he said, using science and religion, that if the Earth was a catastrophe that just killed everything, the Earth, and then 1,000 years later the Earth resurrects, science would bring back every
Single thing.
single thing that
Religion will
happened.
make up completely new stuff.
Exactly.
It's a fact. I mean,
hello.
Yeah.
I mean, so the
it would take a long time, but we would get back to the idea of, oh, shit, the sun's in the center of the solar system.
Yeah.
That would happen because
Right.
science predicts things.
Yeah.
Just like we just we just took a picture of a black hole that was predicted,
Way.
a long time
Yeah.
ago
So-
when it was not even, we didn't even know there were planets outside of our solar system when someone talks about a black hole and then we prove it. It's like religion, all it's proved so far is that
Help me
no one's
understand
came back yet.
back in the days of the Mayan, that they were able to, in their art and all their writings and stuff, talk about the stars and the constellations. How the hell do you think that they pulled that off? Clearly, that
Or just like the
you don't-
pyramids, I mean.
yeah. Do you think they didn't have the technology, or did they? Could there have been? Could
I guess, yeah.
shit could have
Theoretically.
existed? Technology at the level that we're experiencing now, could that have existed then, and just something just decimated the planet and wiped it all away, and we started all over?
I have no idea. What were you gonna say?
Oh, go ahead.
No, that was it. I was just saying I have no
definitely
idea.
don't know, but there's a lot of different one particular. That's so annoying.
Calm down.
One particular view. What's the guy? I wish I could think of his name, but historian that has the idea that pretty much that there's been a lot of ancient civilizations that have been ultimately crushed because of some catastrophe,
Right.
and that history of civilized people goes way further than we thought, which we already proved, like with the pyramids originally, and then Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
It's like we keep going back further and finding more evidence of really advanced societies that completely ruin the normal timeline.
You would know that. What's
Ruins.
this? Yeah, what's the story back in the day when? What was and during, I guess, biblical times, where the wife or the female, the woman was told, "Don't look back at the light." And she
Oh, yeah,
did,
the ash.
and then she turns it.
Yeah.
So, could that have been like some kind of a fucking nuclear bomb? Of that equivalent.
Well, I mean, just one person turning. I think it's more likely.
I
Just
think they're using her, but didn't everybody? I mean,
no, not in that story.
what was it in the pump?
They all burned up
Yeah. So
because to show. I mean, that's one of the great stories to show
Okay.
how nice God was in the Old Testament. One of the several times He killed everybody,
yeah.
Good job.
but it's only for being gay. So if you're gay, feel really good about yourself. God does not love you,
God doesn't love you.
according to the Old Testament or
Yeah.
the New Testament.
No,
Not
I
according
guess
to him, according to the
according
book.
Andrew Asher, the New Testament preaches love.
Man, read Romans.
like
Oh,
300
man.
times. Uses the word love.
Romans
over
1
300
talks
times.
about Romans 1. It definitely talks about how God still don't like gay people. He didn't change His mind from the Old Testament. Jesus never mentioned it, but Paul wrote a third of the New Testament, and he talks about it a lot.
God damn it, Paul.
He didn't. He would not vote for Pete. Just saying.
Even not Mayor Pete.
Pete would not. No, he would be like, Pete, you're going to hell, bud. Sorry.
Do you have with Derby? Derby's coming up. Y'all got like a shitload of gigs lined up for.
We got some good ones.
Yeah,
We
I'm
play-
excited about them.
What do we do?
We're gonna get fancy, and
Yeah.
we're gonna play
That's
at
my next thing. Wood
his
parties
band,
or whatever.
Yeah, his band's going to play at the Rabbit Hole Distillery for the Esquire
that's
magazine
the,
derby
Esquire
party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's gonna be fun.
And then he's gonna I'm gonna tag along, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna sing a couple songs.
And then we play at the Marriott Charred Bourbon Lounge on Thursday.
Derby.
And then
Thurby.
Tin Roof.
Yeah.
We play on Oaks.
Don't you have
And you play Omni Saturday. Early.
Yes.
back in Nashville? You're heading to, or not Nashville, Knoxville to play some gigs.
That's next month I play.
Gotcha.
And then we play in Nashville the week after
For a wedding, right?
for a wedding.
Yeah.
Good times.
How's Noah?
He's doing great. Yeah, we had.
He'll be hanging out with us tomorrow for y'all birthday.
Yeah.
Darn.
What are your birthday plans? Clearly not doing a podcast.
Well, yeah.
Well, kind of. It's all of our birthdays. I'm gonna pretend it's mine too, by the way.
Why not?
Because you're my
it's mine.
girlfriend, and his name is Kevin.
Yeah, it's just one.
It's my birthday
yeah.
too, guys.
Yeah, Noah's doing good. We had Easter and we hid eggs, and it was a great time. But he wanted to hide the eggs himself. But then I had to go on an Easter egg hunt by myself, and it felt very weird as an adult to go hunt around.
The best part to me was that he really so Audrey was so cool. She put a bunch of candy, in all the eggs. So when you find the candy, or you find the eggs, you get candy, or maybe there's like a $1 bill or whatever. But then he got so excited before she hid. He was like, I'm gonna hide one with nothing in it. So when she opens it, she has nothing. He's like, and I was like, this was his evil plan.
Yes.
I was like, that is great.
Did he have a good laugh to go with it? Too?
Oh my
yeah.
god! Yeah, he's like, "Here, open this one." I was like, "Okay," and I opened it. He was like, "Ah!" Just like immediately.
He's wonderfully mischievous.
Yes.
But yeah, he had a blast.
Uh,
We went straight from Jesus to hiding eggs. But I mean,
Well,
I mean,
they
it's-
go together.
Easter.
They do because without the Friday before, we wouldn't have really an Easter, would we? Or the whole religious tone of Easter.
Yeah, we
Right.
would just have the spring
The
equinox.
fun part.
Yeah, just the rabbit,
Just the chocolate.
just the chocolate and the rabbits. Yeah.
I gotta go soon.
Yeah, I guess you got to go.
I
act like you got a
do.
job.
Yes.
And then I guess we'll.
Well, happy birthday at midnight.
Yeah.
Oh,
And happy birthday
see-
right now.
Yeah, we'll see you.
happy birthday right now, Kev.
1-ish.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll be there.
So, do you need a ride there, Kev?
Yes, because she's
Okay.
taking my car. She's stealing
Yeah,
it.
I'm stealing it, bro.
We got you covered.
Stealing my
All right.
car.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for hanging.